Okay, cool. Okay, first of all, before I want to introduce myself, I wanted to make some interaction with the audience and know your opinion. What's your opinion? What characteristic all of these corporations and large firms has in common? What do you think? What's the common between them? Any idea? Yeah. For example.
They all interested in profit.
Yeah, in other aspects, but okay, think about
Maybe
innovation. Yeah,
maybe data-driven.
data-driven. Okay, what do you mean?
Well, they use a lot of data, analyze the data, and try
Yeah,
to figure out
yeah,
what's the best product based on the data.
yeah. It's nowadays everything that yeah, it's based on the data, but yeah, something more depends on the innovation, the new idea that okay, how they can be survived more with the ongoing environment and yeah. What do you think? Which kind of venturing mode that they have. So some of them, they have some venturing mode that, yeah, it would be more beneficial for them.
They probably all have an accelerator.
Yeah, exactly.
Wild
So,
guess.
thank you, Rita, yeah, for the answer. Yeah, all of them has the corporate accelerator. So my topic is about the performance of the corporate accelerator. Is the management structure and a strategic focus can affect on the performance of the corporate accelerator. And for those who doesn't know me, my name is Sabouri, and I'm a visiting PhD student from the University of Palermo. And yeah, so what is the accelerator? Accelerator are new emergence phenomena that are fixed term, cohort based, that support startups with some resources that they have, like the co-working space, educational component, funding, networking, and all of them ends up with a graduation date or a demo date with some founders or some other people. Based on the sponsorship they have, we can classify the accelerator based on their sponsorship in three categories. One is independent accelerator, when the venture capitalists or angel investors are the founders of the accelerator. It is called independent, such as Y Combinator, Techstars, Plug and Play, they are very well known. And as you know, Airbnb and some very successful startups has the acceleration program there. The other one, when the university, government, research institution establish some accelerator, it is called public accelerator. And when the corporations and the firms establish the accelerator, it is called corporate accelerator. The corporations start to accelerate the startups and help them to scale up, and then they make them and the partnership for them to be acquired, make an exit by them, and so on and so forth. So we consider that two dimensions. Based on two dimensions, we can classify the corporate accelerator. One of them is management structure. But what is the management structure? When the corporations establish the corporate accelerator and manage it by themselves, which is called internally management, it is called in-house. And if the corporation delegates the work of establishment of the corporate accelerator to an external independent agency, which is regularly mostly an independent accelerator, it is called powered by. And when there is an alignment between the industry of the corporations and the startups that the corporate accelerator admit for their acceleration program, it is called exploitative or vertical. And when it is more broad in terms of industry, it is called explorative or horizontal. So by looking at the literature review, we found out that there is some article that has investigated the corporate accelerator performances, and they found out that the accelerators that are located in the USA, they are more, some of them that are older in terms of the experience they have. And in terms of size, if they have a larger number of employee or number of portfolio size, so they are more successful. And also they measure the performances based on different measurements, like the total amount of funding that the startups could achieve. And none of the articles and researches has investigated the corporate accelerator performances based on these two dimensions, the strategic focus and management structure. So we aim to the previous literature by understanding, investigating that if the in-house and powered by accelerator, and if the vertical or horizontal corporate accelerator has an impact on the startup's performances. So for this purpose, we collected data, secondary data from 188 corporate accelerators around the world, and we used the Crunchbase until February 2023. Then we start to classify the corporate accelerator based on these two dimensions. And as you can see here, the majority of them are in-house and the majority are horizontal. And after that, we wanted to find out that how many startups have been accelerated through the dimensions like the location, strategic focus, and management structure. And as you can see, the majority of startups that have been accelerated are in-house, the majority are vertical, they are located in the USA, and they are located in the non-mature ecosystem. And for the mature ecosystem, we used one of the reports that some other scholars have used for their classification of the mature ecosystem and non-mature ecosystem. And I can, if you are interested, I can send you the link. And otherwise, the top 10 mature ecosystem are Silicon Valley, New York City, London, Los Angeles, Tel Aviv, Boston, Beijing, Singapore, Shanghai, and Seattle. Okay, then we go for the how we measure the performance of the corporate accelerator. So we use two dependent variables. One of them is the percentage of exceed, that the total number of exceed that the startups have achieved after 3 years of the acceleration program out to relative to the total number of startups that participated in that program for any corporate accelerator. And the survival rate, the total number of startups that have been survived 3 years after the completion of the acceleration program relative to the total number of startups accelerated by that corporate accelerator. And for independent variable, we used the dummy variables. If it's in-house, we put 0, 1, and powered by 0, and also for the vertical and the horizontal, again, dummy variable. And here you can see the first result that we had. It is an exceed percentage. As you can see, management structure, which is based on the in-house accelerator, is significant and has a positive impact on the startups. Then, and as you can see here, the strategic focus by considering the vertical as a baseline has a negative impact on the exceed percentage. And when we make an interaction between them, the management structure and the strategic focus, how they can impact the exit percentage of startups together, we found a negative significant result, which means in-house vertical accelerator is harming the exit percentage of the startups. And the second result by survival rate, we had for the management structure, we had the same result for the in-house accelerator. The in-house accelerator has a good impact on the startups survival rate. As a strategic focus, we found the vertical accelerators has a positive impact on the survival rate of startups. And by considering, again, the management structure and the strategic focus, the interaction between them, again, we found a negative impact. That means the in-house vertical is diminishing the survival rate of startups. Here you can see the mean exit percentage and the mean survival rate on the along location, strategic focus, and management structure. And yeah, the Europe has the greater amount for the mean exit and mean survival rate. In terms of major ecosystem, on those 10 major ecosystem that I've mentioned before, they have a greater mean exit and mean survival rate. The vertical and horizontal, yeah, the mean survival rate here is the same in somehow, but yeah, for the mean exit, yeah, here you can see differences. And for the in-house and powered by, as you can see, the in-house mean exit are higher, and also for the survival rate. And yeah, this is the report that you can find the global startup ecosystem ranking that the scholars are using, and it is the website. Okay, so let's go to the next page. And yeah, so what is the rationale behind these things? Why in-house has better performances in the two performances that we considered? One of the rationale in two perspective is open innovation perspective, and the other one is real option perspective. In open innovation perspective, by considering two sides, startups and corporations, because in-house accelerator, which is located in the corporation or near the corporations, so the startups and the corporation can establish the relationship based on trust, intimate synergy collaborations, and yeah, the knowledge exchange between them would be increased in the in-house rather than powered by, which is another kind of corporate accelerator. And so in these two parts, so these two sides, startups and the corporations, can get benefits, since yeah, they have more chances to get familiar to each other, to their idea, and yeah, something will happen based on the frequent and unplanned interaction. For example, imagine once startups will go to the kitchen for a coffee, and one of the key headers of the corporations, which the decision maker comes to the kitchen simultaneously, and then they have a meeting. Then at this time, the startup says something about their problem, and then boom, something happens from this, which the Kohler mentioned about this time, serendipitous moment, which nobody expect anything happens, but something happens. So in this situation, it will increase, and also it helps the corporations to have a deeper understanding of the potential of the startups. And in terms of real option perspective, when the corporation and startups has the chance to adjust their involvement and commitment toward each other, so the corporation can decrease the uncertainty time that they can get familiar to the technology of the startups, and then after a while they can get some acquisition or get acquired with the startups. So it would be some of the possible explanation behind these things. And for the discussion of the verticality and horizontality, as you saw in the last slides, the horizontal accelerator can increase the probability of the exit of the startups. That one of the reasons would be the interdisciplinary collaboration that they have. So they have more different collaboration here. And the vertical accelerators, since the knowledge and the knowledge they know, the startups and the corporation is the same. So based on the absorptive capacity that they have, the chance of survival rate of the startups will increase in this situation. And for the problem that the in-house vertical corporate accelerator has in terms of the startups is that the startups can be locked in the corporations, since the knowledge is the same. But when it is more horizontal and the corporation maybe doesn't have that much knowledge, so the risk of locking problems will be decreased. And when it is more horizontal, so the startups have the resources at the same time from the corporation, and the different startups that in the same cohort that they are in somehow colleague competitors together. So that's why the in-house horizontal accelerator, in terms of the number of exits and also the survival rate, would increase. So the theoretical and practical contribution, first of all, this study helps the performance of the corporate accelerators by considering the corporate accelerator as an entity. Then it helps the accelerated startups, the performances of them, which is current work that we are doing now. And the third, the effect of the corporate venturing mode on startup exits, because there are different kind of venturing modes that the corporations can use, and which one is leading to more exit in terms of the exit startups, and CVC investments, corporate venturing capital corporations. And for the managerial implication, imagine that you are a startup and you want to participate in one of the very high well-known accelerators, which is Y Combinator or plug and play. So as I said before, they are powered by corporate accelerators, that they use the name and credit of the these kind of Y Combinators, and I want to participate in those accelerator, but I cannot be accepted in those because, yeah, as you know, for example, the 1 million startups will enroll on their program, and after lots of filters, there would be 1,000, I don't know how many, but yeah, they will accept a very not so many, but yeah. And then when I want to participate in the other acceleration program, and I see, yeah, this corporate accelerator is run by, for example, Y Combinator or Techstar, so maybe they can find me with lots of founders like the Silicon Valley, not like Silicon Valley, but okay, but they have some networks and it can help me. But does it really work me? And me as a startup should think about it, that okay, what is my objective? Do I really want the exceed, or do I really want the survival rate? What really I want to do? So based on that, I should choose among the corporate accelerator that, okay, the in-house accelerator that are established by the corporations itself, it increase the chance of my exit and the survival rate. Or in terms of vertical, if my sector is the same as the corporation, okay, I can be maybe more alive. But if I'm thinking about exit, so it's not possible. If are not possible, I'm saying, yeah, the probability will increase when I want to go to a vertical corporate accelerator. And yeah, the in-house vertical accelerator will decrease, as we mentioned before, the startup exit and survival rate of the startups. And yeah, we had some limitation, like all of the researches that, yeah, by changing the measurement performance, by changing the dependent variable, yeah, the result will change. So we can consider more other dependent variable measurements, like the relationship building acceleration phase, after the acceleration phase of the startups, the funding of the startups. Also, we can consider, because we had, based on the management structure and strategic focus, maybe there are other classification for the acceleration program, corporate accelerator. So maybe we can consider those classification as well. And like all of the research, yeah, we had a dress of the data, lack of data. So a mix of qualitative research that you can have achieve more data about the corporate accelerator would be beneficial in these things. And thank you so much for your attention and your listening. Any question, any suggestion is very most welcome. Thank you so much.